Hi guys, it's TT here and welcome to Unaccounted Live, the first episode ever. So this is where we create awareness to people who are missing and unaccounted for. For some people they're forgotten, but over here they're not. So this in this episode we'll be talking about Asha Degree, and I think some of you might know Asha. I actually came across Asha's story when I was listening to a podcast a while ago. Actually, I don't remember what podcast because I listen to a lot of podcasts, honestly. So it's either one of the ones in Crime House. Um, but yeah, let's get into Asha Degree. She was a 9-year-old girl. She lived in Shelby, North Carolina, fourth grade student. Shelby's sweetheart, okay? She was quiet, responsible, and also very close to her brother and family. There was no known history of Asher running away. There was no history of that. I also looked and I didn't see any history of her running away before that incident, right? Let's talk about the night that she vanished, February 14, 2000, right? So they ate dinner, they watched TV, and they went to bed. So around 2:30 to 3 a.m., Asha left home, carrying a backpack. Now, so here's the thing: there was no signs of forced entry. There was no struggle. Nothing appeared stolen. Nothing shady, happened, and they couldn't see anything. But let's talk about the witnesses, right? Two truck drivers who mentioned that they saw Asha right on the highway. They did mention that they saw a young girl walking south on a highway 18. So they became concerned, right? And they turn around, they try to get Asha, but by the time they got there, she ran into the woods. And I think, based on all of the things that I have read so far, that is the strongest verified sightings investigation so far. They did search for Asha, and to be honest, this case is still open right now because recently there's still like a development that came up, which I'm not going to be diving deep into right now. I think now that I'm just starting, I'm not going to be doing a lot of deep dive until I get more comfortable with all of these cases and I make in-depth research more, because I'm trying to be respectful of everybody here. But as of right now, I'm not really going to deep dive into the recent development on this case, but I'll definitely just mention it a little bit. The FBI, the police, the local volunteers, search dog, helicopters, like everyone was out there looking for Asha. Again, she was the Shelby sweetheart. But it wasn't really about that as well. But like, someone is missing, and I think that the next step that should be taking in a situation like that is for that person to be searched for. To be the first 48 hours of a missing persons case is so critical to like finding them, because anything can happen within even 24 hours, not to talk about 48 hours, right? The investigators actually found some of her stuff inside a storage shed. These discoveries supported their belief that she had been in the area after leaving home. I don't know, been could they have been placed there before, after she left home and then she never came back, or she left home, she came back and placed those things there, or did someone place those things there, right? And I think I read somewhere that even up until now, her mom still believes that she's still alive. And I can only imagine like what her family are going through right now. The craziest thing is not knowing if someone is still alive they're missing, because now you don't have that closure, right? The closure is not there, which can be can be so exhausting, terrifying, heartbreaking. And to be honest, like, my heart just goes out to anybody out there who is currently, like, experiencing this. But just so you know, I did mention that I would not really be diving deep into the recent development. But 18 months later, after she was missing, a backpack was found, right? Some constructions worker were working one day, as they would normally do on their day to day, and Asha's backpack in a plastic bag, roughly 25 miles away, was found. 25 miles away was found. Like, can you imagine that? Like, the bag being in a plastic bag, right? And being found in a building where construction workers are working. I do not want to believe that Asha put that bag there, because I wouldn't think so. Like, that would, maybe it would make sense to somebody else, but that doesn't really make sense to me in some type of way. But I really want to know like what you think about that. Like, would you say that she put that back there? Would you say that, do you think that someone else did that? Inside the bag, they did find like different items. I will try to actually put some pictures of these items as well. And some of the items didn't even belong to Asha, which again raised a like red flag to me, because now how is it that some things that didn't belong to Asha were found in that backpack? Like, like, make it make sense. I cannot actually like understand like how that happened. And because of this, it's giving like more questions instead of answers. It's like them finding this is like, now we have more questions, like, how did this happen? Like, what could have caused this? Like, situations like that. And now it's like more mystery than answer, which can be so crazy, because when you are in a situation where you're trying to find something, find answers, get answers, whatever, and all that keeps happening is you getting more questions, then it can be so exhausting. I know that, because like, I've been in a position where I've tried, you're trying to like get something, and you're trying to find out something, but instead of finding things instead of finding an answer, you're getting more questions. So I can only imagine like how her loved ones are feeling right now. And I know I keep saying that, but that was one of the things that actually got me to start doing this, because I'm like, so there's so many missing people out there that are still missing, and nobody's talking about them. Like, no awareness. Like, it just happened. But these people are human too, and I feel like we should try our best to keep bringing awareness to their kids, so that you know they're not forgotten. And I feel like someone might have lured her or like groomed her in some type of way, because again, she was just a 9-year old little girl, and I think that anyone could have taken advantage of that, right? And they, because they will be like, oh, that's a little girl. And I'm just thinking that she left home willingly. Then she encountered someone who then groomed her or lured her, and now that person is unknown. We don't know who. And in my books, as of right now, they're an unknown offender. This case is still active. The FBI, they're still conducting searches. I know they're still searching like, different places right now, because of the new development of like finding the backpack and all of that stuff. So I know that this is still active. So if you have any information about Asha Degree, please reach out to your closest, a police station, authority. The FBI is actively involved in this as well. They have been searching, and up until now, Asha Degree hasn't been found. So this case is still open. Asha is not forgotten in any way. 26 years later, a family is still out there waiting for their loved ones to come home to them. I believe that someone out there knows why a 9-year old left home in the middle of a storm. Someone out there knows what happened after she disappeared into the storm. And as of right now, Asha Degree remains unaccounted for and will keep spreading awareness on her name. So you keep saying her name, Asha Degree. Do you think Asha left home willingly? What do you think happened? What do you think happened? Do you think she left home? Do you think someone was waiting for her out there? Do you think someone planned this all out? Just share your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment. Again, if you have any information, please contact the law enforcement. And please, whatever it is that your comments or thoughts or theory would be, please share it respectfully in the comments, because we want to be respectful of you know everyone out there, the family, the loved ones, because they're all like going through it, still waiting for Asha. This is where I will be concluding this episode. Maybe, just maybe, some other day I may dive deep into this, because again, there's a whole because of the new development, there's like a whole like findings, which I don't want to mention, the family involved in those findings right now, because again, I'm just starting this and I am trying to make sure that I am doing the right thing. So I know that as I continue, I will get better and better in diving deep into um, you know, each episode. So yes, let me know your theory. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you on the next episode. Please stay safe out there. Bye bye.